Channing Tatum. Now we got some acting talent. Eagle! Who does not think that when they hear the title of this movie seriously? Now, The Eagle's a really hard movie to critique because it's like two movies in one. So long story short, Channing Tatum's dad screwed up and lost the Golden Eagle of Rome. So now to get his family honor back, he needs to go get it. This happens after a long-ass useless backstory in which he gets wounded in war and whatever. So he takes his manslave, played by the other jumper, and they embark on their boring journey. I say boring journey because it's like all the long, slow parts of like an MMO. Like, you know when you're playing an MMO and you usually solo and then some random guy's like, hey, you want to do quests with me? And you're like, okay, yeah, sure. And you end up walking around doing nothing. You're like, who is this jackoff? A lot like how the Eagle is. They just walk and walk. It's like the long, boring, slow parts of the Lord of the Rings book with no payoff with cool characters. And most of the movie deals with this perception is reality kind of thing, which is true, and it is a good point. Channing Tatum's supposed to be a badass Roman soldier. Then there's this slave from Britain. So it's like, oh, you guys are douches and I'm cool and this is why. And you're like, yeah, he has a point. And then it's like, oh no, I'm cool and you guys are douches and this is why. And you're like, yeah, okay, he has a point. But it does this back and forth. This I walk in your shoes, you walk in mine, you see how it is, ooh, life is hard in your shoes kind of thing. It just feels like it's really shoved down your throat, even though it is a good point. But at that point, it's all about execution. I mean, I could tell someone, okay, how about this? Here's a superhero movie in which someone doesn't have their sight, and they need to rely on their other senses, and they can hear things really well and almost have like a radar sense. But the cool thing is the guy's blind and kicks ass. Yeah, okay, cool, yeah, I'm down with that. Sweet, here's Daredevil. A concept's like 10% of what makes a movie cool. There are a lot of other things involved. Channing Tatum, for instance. Not a good actor. I'm pretty sure this is the Channing Tatum story. He was Channing Tatum, he did G.I. Joe, no one liked him, so he changes his name to Sam Worthington, does Avatar, people like him now, does Clash of the Titans, no one likes him anymore, then he goes back to being Channing Tatum. Pretty sure that's a fact. And you could say, yeah, the movie's not boring, it's character-based. But when you make a character-based movie based on a stupid character played by a bad actor, not smart at all. Then after about an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half, the movie picks up. And then they have to get away from this like fleet of guys that are coming after him. They just have to outrun them. And that was cool. I was like, okay, you have a clear enemy on your trail. You have to outrun them. Awesome. There's even a cool throwdown. I'm not saying that's the deep part of a movie. I'm just saying at that point, that was the cool part of the movie. So bad acting, stupid characters, and a slow movie, I would have said dog shit, but the last half hour of this movie saved it from that. So the first 3/4 of the movie, dog shit. Last quarter of the movie is okay, but you're not going to remember it in T-minus 13 minutes. That's why I had to just do this review right now, because as of tomorrow, I'm not going to remember this movie at all. By the time you watch this review, I will not even remember the movie. But if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.